This project has an essential question that gets to the heart of one of the most basic reasons why we want to learn or why we want to teach math. And that's, how can you use math to predict future outcomes? But there's another way of expressing this essential question too. Can you use math to beat Vegas? Well, in other words, can you do better than the professional odds makers at predicting the outcomes of football games? Sites like FanDuel and DraftKings and all the other fantasy football outlets, and even online gambling sites create odds based on the process my students were being evaluated against. The process looks at every player's statistics, every team's statistics, home court advantages, weather, travel times, and puts it all into a simulation that they run 501 times just so that there's a definitive winner. That was the process that the students are going to be up against. Middle schoolers going up against Las Vegas and the entire betting industry. Sounds like the plot of maybe a B-rate, maybe some, if it's done well, A-rate Hollywood movie. But it's also the basics of a good project. And even though those teams of mathematicians and football experts and analysts have no idea who my kids are, we still knew the process that they go through with their entire team of workers and supercomputers, and we were going up against them. And when we had gathered enough data to compare and make predictions, that's exactly what we did. Now, my students didn't have a team of supercomputers or a large team. They had 45 minutes per week to evaluate expressions and create analytical data to compare. Then they had to make their own predictions at the end of the period and then turn that sheet into me. And then we would see exactly how they did at the end of the week. Now, the really cool part was that on the 8th week of the project, I had two teams match exactly what Vegas did. Vegas predicted 11 out of the 13 games correctly. But then I had one group who predicted 12 out of 13, and they could say that they beat Vegas.